Watching a person learn how to read is probably one of the most awe-inspiring experiences. It often seems like there is this light bulb moment that occurs, and the student is off and reading independently. While it may appear that a person's journey to literacy is an automatic process, there are many existing theories that suggest otherwise. Countless studies have been done to identify how individuals learn to read and which strategies are helpful throughout the process. The following is an overview of past and present literacy research. Much debate has ensued regarding reading level and comprehension. Some research suggests that developing readers should read texts that are on or close to their diagnosed reading levels. Theorists who subscribe to this school of thought include Beck and Jewell, 1995, and Jewell and Roper-Schneider, 1985. These researchers believe that developing readers should be able to recognize and understand most words within the text in order to successfully read for meaning. Other theorists have emphasized the importance of automatic word recognition. Automatic word recognition involves the act of memorizing sight words and applying this knowledge of sight words to all other unknown words. Sight words are high-frequency words that are typically introduced when children are first beginning to read: the, who, he, here, and, etc. Chall, 1996, Airy, 1995, LaBerge and Samuels, 1974, and Perfetti, 1985, have all stressed the importance of automatic word recognition in their studies. Finally, researchers in literacy development have stressed the importance of explicitly teaching literacy skills and strategies to young readers. These theorists believe that reading, unlike language development, is not a natural process. Therefore, reading skills and strategies like cipher knowledge, decoding, recognizing and using context clues, phonemic awareness, and fluency must be taught through direct instruction for successful literacy development. Adams and Bruck, 1993, Liberman in 1992, and Perfetti, 1990, have all contributed to this theory. Cipher knowledge is the relationship between the way a word is spelled and the way a word is pronounced in English. While there are exceptions to every rule in the English language, knowledge of these rules will allow the reader to pronounce most words correctly. Phonemic awareness is necessary for readers to decipher words. Phonemic awareness is the ability to recognize the most minute sounds or phonemes in words. Deciphering involves the act of using knowledge of phonemes to pronounce or sound out words. Think of the English alphabet as a set of codes that represent individual sounds. Knowledge of these codes is cipher knowledge. However, as we noted, there are always exceptions to the rule. A developing reader may, for example, pronounce the word where as a rhyming pair of here. The reader still possesses cipher knowledge but is not able to successfully decode the word. More on that next. Research on cipher knowledge indicates that readers who are explicitly instructed on the relationships between letters and sounds early on are more likely to become proficient readers. On the contrary, lack of explicit instruction to develop cipher knowledge early on adversely affects students who are classified as at risk. Decoding is the process of recognizing letter and word sounds and applying this knowledge to decode new words. Think of the reader as a detective. Prior knowledge of letter and word sounds are the clues to solving the mystery of the new word. Decoding is not the same as deciphering. To expand upon the previous example, the student who correctly pronounces the word where is decoding the word. Airy, 1992-1998, and Firth, 1972, are among the researchers who have studied the importance of the development of decoding skills in literacy development. This research suggests that the student's ability to correctly and quickly decode words is a significant factor in literacy development. Further, variance or differences in decoding abilities typically accounts for variance in reading ability. Language learning is often separated into two different categories, L1 and L2. L1 refers to your first or native language. This is the language that you are most comfortable with. Most often, this language was learned during childhood. L2 refers to the second language you learned, if applicable. While every developmentally healthy adult has an L1, not everyone has an L2. L2 is not the native language and is most often not the language spoken in the home. The list can go on to represent as many languages as the person has acquired: L3, L4, L5, etc. Both L1 and L2 literacy development are complex. Learners whose native language, L1, is not English are identified as English language learners, ELLs. Research on literacy development of L2 depends heavily on the individual's phonological awareness of L1. Phonological awareness, although sometimes used interchangeably with phonemic awareness, is a broader term that encompasses all skills associated with the correct pronunciation of text. If phonological awareness skills are strong, it is likely that the learner will be able to transfer his or her knowledge of L1 to knowledge of L2. Transfer is simply applying knowledge, skills, and strategies to a new skill set, in this case L2. While incorrect or negative transfer can take place, strong literacy skills in L1 are a strong predictor of success in literacy development in L2. There are current trends in literacy development research that are now being recommended as best practices in literacy instruction. Tactile learning, for example, is not a new concept, but it is a relatively new approach to literacy instruction. Tactile learning is learning that involves physical movement and/or physical touch. Students, especially young learners, are often more engaged when they are actively interacting with the content. Allowing students to write letters in flour or mold them out of clay are ways in which the teacher can further engage the developing reader. There has also been an emphasis on digital literacy in the classroom. With the ever-growing list of digital resources students have access to, it is important to engage students in tasks that allow them to develop literacy skills of online resources, graphics, infographics, and other digitized sources. Literacy development is a complex process for both native, or L1, and foreign, L2, languages. While theorists may place different emphases on the importance of the development of specific literacy skills, no theory disputes the importance of developing basic literacy skills. Reading comprehension, automatic word recognition, cipher knowledge, and decoding are all skills that are linked to successful literacy development in both children and adults. With respect to ELLs, literacy development of L1 is a significant factor in the likelihood of successful literacy development in L2. Current trends in literacy development research include tactile learning and media literacy. Researchers have begun to explore literacy that extends beyond traditional print text in an effort to support 21st century skill development and improve literacy development across all age groups.